Welcome to the Bible in a Year live Tanakh project. Today is week 5, day 5, and my name is Melissa. We will be reading from Leviticus 5 to 7, CJB version. Let's begin. If a person who is a witness sworn to testify sins by refusing to tell what he has seen or heard about the matter, he must bear the consequences. If a person touches something unclean, whether the carcass of an unclean wild animal, a domestic animal, or a reptile, he is guilty, even though he may not be aware that he is unclean. If he touches some human uncleanness, no matter what the source of his uncleanness is, and is unaware of it, then, when he learns of it, he is guilty. If someone allows to slip from his mouth an oath to do evil or to do good, and he doesn't remember that he clearly spoke this oath, then no matter what it was about, when he learns of it, he is guilty. A person guilty of any of these things is to confess in what manner he sinned and bring his guilt offering to Adonai for the sin he committed. It is to be a female from the flock, either a lamb or a goat, as a sin offering, and the Kohen will make atonement for him in regard to his sin. If he can't afford a lamb, he is to bring as his guilt offering for the sin he committed 2 doves or 2 young pigeons for Adonai, the one as a sin offering and the other as a burnt offering. He is to bring them both to Cohen, who will offer the one for a sin offering first. He is to wring its neck, but not remove the head. Sprinkle some of the blood of the sin offering on the side of the altar, and drain out the rest of the blood at the base of the altar. It is a sin offering. He is to prepare the second as a burnt offering in the manner prescribed. Thus, the Kohen will make an atonement for him in regard to the sin which he committed, and he will be forgiven. But if his means are insufficient, even for 2 doves or 2 young pigeons, then he is to bring as his offering for the sin he committed 2 quarts of fine flour for a sin offering. He is to put any olive oil or frankincense on it, because it is a sin offering. He is to bring it to the Kohen, and the Kohen is to take a handful of it as its reminder portion and make it go up in smoke on the altar on top of the offerings for Adonai made by fire. It is a sin offering. Thus, the Kohen will make atonement for him in regard to the sin he committed concerning any of these things, and he will be forgiven. The rest will belong to the Kohanim as with a grain offering. Adonai said to Moshe, "If anyone acts improperly and inadvertently sins in regards to the holy things of Adonai, he is to bring as his guilt offering for Adonai a ram without defect from the flock, or its equivalent in silver shekels, using the sanctuary shekel as the standard. According to your appraisal of its value, it is a guilt offering. In addition, he is to make restitution for whatever he did wrong in regard to the holy thing. Moreover, he is to add to the 1/5 and give it to the Kohen. Then the Kohen will make the atonement with the ram of the guilt offering, and he will be forgiven. If someone sins by doing something against any of the mitzvot of Adonai, concerning things which should not be done, he is guilty, even if he is unaware of it, and he bears the consequences of his wrongdoing. He must bring a ram without defect from the flock, or its equivalent, according to your appraisal, to the Kohen for the guilt offering. The Kohen will make atonement concerning the error which he committed, even though he was unaware of it, and he will be forgiven. It is a guilt offering. He is certainly guilty before Adonai. Adonai said to Moshe, "If someone sins and acts perversely against Adonai by dealing falsely with his neighbor in regard to a deposit or security entrusted to him, by stealing from him, by extorting him, or by dealing falsely in regard to a lost object he has found, or by swearing to a lie. If a person commits any of these sins, then, if he sinned and is guilty, he is to restore whatever it was he stole or obtained by extortion, or whatever was deposited with him, or the lost object which he found, or anything about which he was sworn falsely. He is to restore it in full, plus an additional 1/5. He must return it to the person who owns it on the day when he presents his guilt offering. He is to bring as his guilt offering to Adonai a ram without defect from the flock, or its equivalent according to your appraisal to the Cohen. It is a guilt offering. Thus the Cohen will make atonement for him before Adonai, and he will be forgiven in regard to whatever it was he did that made him guilty. Leviticus 6. Adonai said to Moshe, "Give this order to Aaron and his sons. This is the law for the burnt offering. It is what goes up on its firewood upon the altar all night long until morning. In this way, the fire of the altar will be kept burning. When the fire has consumed the burnt offering on the altar, the Kohen, having put on his linen garment and covered himself with his linen shorts, is to remove the ashes and put them beside the altar. Then he is to remove those garments and put on others, before carrying the ashes outside the camp to a clean place. In this way, the fire on the altar will be kept burning and not be allowed to go out. Each morning, the Kohen is to kindle wood on it, arrange the burnt offering, and make the fat of the peace offerings go up in smoke. Fire is to be kept burning on the altar continually. It is not to go out. This is the law for the grain offering. The sons of Aaron are to offer it before Adonai in front of the altar. He is to take from the grain offering a handful of its fine flour, some of its olive oil, and all of the frankincense which is on the grain offering. And he is to make this reminder portion of it go up in smoke on the altar as a fragrant aroma for Adonai. The rest of it, Aaron and his sons are to eat. It is to be eaten without leaven in a holy place. They are to eat it in the courtyard of the tent of meeting. It is not to be baked with leaven. I have given it as their portion of my offerings made by fire. Like the sin offering and the guilt offering, it is especially holy. Every male descendant of Aaron may eat from it. It is his share of the offerings for Adonai, made by fire forever through your generations. Whatever touches those offerings will become holy. Adonai said to Moshe, "This is the offering for Adonai that Aaron and his sons are to offer on the day he is anointed. 2 quarts of fine flour, half of it in the morning and half of it in the evening, as a grain offering from then on. It is to be well mixed with olive oil and fried on a griddle. Then bring it in, break it in pieces, and offer the grain offering as a fragrant aroma for Adonai. The anointed Cohen who will take Aaron's place from among his descendants will offer it. It is a perpetual obligation. It must be entirely made to go up in smoke for Adonai. Every grain offering of the Cohen is to be entirely made to go up in smoke. It is not to be eaten." Adonai said to Moshe, "Tell Aaron and his sons, this is the law for the sin offering, and the sin offering is to be slaughtered before Adonai in the place where the burnt offering is slaughtered. It is especially holy. The Cohen who offers it for sin is to eat it. It is to be eaten in a holy place, in the courtyard of the tent of meeting. Whoever touches its flesh will become holy. If any of its blood splashes on them, on any item of clothing, you are to wash it in a holy place. The clay pot in which it is cooked must be broken. If it is cooked in a bronze pot, it must be scoured and rinsed in water. Any male from a family of Kohanim may eat the sin offering. It is especially holy. But no sin offering which has had any of its blood brought into the tent of meeting to make atonement in the holy place is to be eaten. It is to be burnt up completely. Leviticus 7. This is the law for the guilt offering. It is especially holy. They are to slaughter the guilt offering in the place where they slaughter the burnt offering, and its blood is to be splashed against all sides of the altar. It is to offer all its fat, the fat tail, the fat covering, the inner organs, the 2 kidneys, the fat on them near the flanks, and the covering of the liver, which he will remove with the kidneys. The Cohen will make them go up in smoke on the altar as an offering made by fire to Adonai. It is a guilt offering. Every male from a family of Cohenim may eat it. It is to be eaten in a holy place. It is especially holy. The guilt offering is like the sin offering. The same law governs them. It will belong to the Cohen who uses it to make atonement. The Cohen who offers someone's burnt offering will possess the hide of the burnt offering which he has offered. Every grain offering baked in the oven, cooked in a pot or fried on a griddle, will belong to the Cohen who offers it. But every grain offering which is mixed with olive oil or is dry will belong to all the sons of Aaron equally. This is the law for sacrificing peace offerings offered to Adonai. If a person offers it for giving thanks, he is to offer it with the thanksgiving sacrifice of unleavened cakes mixed with olive oil, matzah spread with olive oil, and cakes made of fine flour mixed with olive oil and fried. With cakes of leavened bread, he is to present his offering together with the sacrifice of his peace offerings for giving thanks. From each kind of offering, he is to present one as a gift for Adonai. It will belong to the Cohen who splashes the blood of the peace offering against the altar. The meat of the sacrifice of his peace offerings for giving thanks is to be eaten on the day of his offering. He is not to leave any of it until morning. But if the sacrifice connected with his offering is for a vow or is a voluntary offering, then while it is to be eaten on the day he offers the sacrifice, what remains of it may be eaten the next day. However, what remains of the meat of the sacrifice on the 3rd day is to be burnt up completely. If any of the meat of the sacrifice of his peace offerings is eaten on the 3rd day, the sacrifice will neither be accepted nor credited to the person offering it. Rather, it will have become a disgusting thing, and whoever eats it will bear the consequences of his wrongdoing. Meat which touches something unclean is not to be eaten, but burned up completely. As for the meat, everyone who is clean may eat it, but a person in a state of uncleanness who eats any meat from the sacrifice of peace offerings made to Adonai will be cut off from his people. Anyone who touches something unclean, whether the uncleanness be from a person, from an unclean animal, or from the other unclean detestable thing, and then eats the meat from the sacrifice of peace offerings for Adonai, that person will be cut off from his people. Adonai said to Moshe, "Say to the people of Israel, you are not to eat the fat of the bulls, sheep, or goats. The fat of animals that die of themselves or are killed by wild animals may be used for any other purpose, but under no circumstances are you to eat it. For whoever eats the fat of animals of the kind used in presenting an offering made by fire to Adonai will be cut off from his people. You are not to eat any kind of blood, whether from birds or animals, in any of your homes. Whoever eats any blood will be cut off from his people." Adonai said to Moshe, "Say to the people of Israel, a person who offers his sacrifice of peace offerings to Adonai is to bring part of his sacrifice of peace offerings as his offerings for Adonai. He is to bring with his own hands the offerings for Adonai made by fire. He is to bring the breast with its fat. The breast is to be waved as a wave offering before Adonai. The Cohen is to make the fat go up in smoke on the altar. but the breasts will belong to Aaron and his descendants. You are to give the right thigh from your sacrifices of peace offerings to the Cohen as a contribution. The descendants of Aaron who offers the blood of the peace offering is to have the right thigh as his share. For the breast that has been waved and the thigh that has been contributed, I have taken from the people of Israel out of their sacrifices of peace offerings and given them to Aaron the Cohen and to his descendants as their share forever from the people of Israel. On the day when Aaron and his sons were presented to serve Adonai in the office of Cohen, this portion was set aside for him and his descendants from the offerings for Adonai made by fire. On the day they were anointed, Adonai ordered that this be given to them by the people of Israel. It is their share forever through all generations. This is the law for the burnt offering, the grain offering, the sin offering, the guilt offering, the consecration offering, the sacrifice of peace offerings, which Adonai ordered Moshe on Mount Sinai on the day he ordered the people of Israel to present their offerings to Adonai in the Sinai desert.